Guys, Paul here, one of the co-founders at EstateNurture, and I want to say thanks for taking the time to connect with our team. We're super excited to meet you. See if you're an agent that fits our mission here of helping 10,000 home buyers and sellers navigate their real estate transactions by finding realtors that they can trust, right? If you haven't seen our mission or the document that comes in the email when you book a call with us, by all means, check that out. It shows you what we're looking for in the agents that we work with. But for now, I want to go over value to you, right? Right now, every time we connect with an agent, we want to make sure that that call is as valuable to the agent as possible. And right now that comes down to teaching them what top producers are doing to navigate this post-COVID world, this seller's market, this dry inventory market that we're dealing with. So let's dive in. This video, guys, is going to be a few minutes, 5 or 6 minutes, but I promise you every second of it's going to be pretty helpful information. There's going to be a lot of macro elements and a lot of little just micro tips that you want to pull out of this. But I can tell you that 9 out of 10 agents we talk to are doing the wrong thing right now. And they're not just losing cash from investing into lead gen or into programs the wrong way. They're losing a lot of opportunity cash, right? I'd actually say that's the biggest loss that they're incurring because there's so much abundance right now, but they're just not finding the right way to tap into it. So that's what we're going to dive into. First thing you have to understand is the market, what to do in the market, and why top producers are doing what they're doing, and then, again, what not to do. So let's dive in. Right now, we're in the midst of what we call the perfect storm. So every month, the Feds are continuing to buy $40 billion worth of MBSs. What that does is it keeps interest rates very low, very borrower-friendly. And because of the pandemic, because of COVID, right, COVID created the largest amount of work-from-homers ever. It's never been so many people working from home as there is now. So do the math. People working from home and spending a lot of time at home, right? And then super low interest rates. You're going to get a lot of buyers, massive amount of demand. And I know we're going to get into the lack of inventory and the dry market in a second, but despite the dry market, despite the pandemic, even with months of halted business last year in 2020, more existing homes were sold in 2020 than any year since the bubble, since 06, since the bubble burst, I should say, right? So this is the equivalent, guys, of a bull market. If you're into stock trading, this is a bull market means it's going up and up and up and up. And if you're not tapped into the market right now, you're losing massive amounts of business. So that's what we're going to help you with. But it's really important that you understand everything we're going to get into. So number one, right, home sales in 2021 expected to increase by 6.2% over 2020, expected to increase by 4% right? Yeah, 4.4% in 2022. So the market's going to continue to raise according to all the experts in the market. You want to make sure you're part of it. Right? As we all know, the one thing that's slowing everything down is lack of inventory. The housing market is currently 3.8 million single-family homes short of the market's demand. Listing supplies declined by 50% since last year. So because of this, right, kind of the cause and effect of that is we have a historic high median home value of $329,000. This is 17% higher than last May of 2020. So according to Freddie Mac, this is also expected to increase. So 6.6% in 2021, 4.4% in 2022. Very, very close to the expectation for home sales, right? So prices are going up, but sales are still going up with it. What this all means, really dumbing this down. Demand is high, inventory is low. So basic capitalism, right? When demand is high, inventory is low. That means prices go up. That means that things don't stay on the market for as long. And even with all that, we're still going to get more sales than ever, than ever in the last decade and a half. So it's an amazing time to be a real estate agent. That's why you're seeing so many, even despite the dry market, you're seeing so many people getting their licenses right now because it's an amazing time to be an agent. You just got to make sure you're doing it the right way. So let's find out how top producers are succeeding in this market. In short, right, top producers, they're just listening to the market. Where 90% of agents that we talk to are instead trying to fight the market. Don't fight the market. So let's break it down. What is the market offering? We know, we just went over it in that market analysis, right? Low rates plus work from home crowd is high demand, ton of buyers. What is the market not offering right now? Sellers. Inventory is low. That means sellers are low. That means the market doesn't have many sellers. So what did top producers do when they know all of this? They follow the market trend. They don't fight them. The biggest, I'm gonna emphasize this, the biggest pitfall that we see 9 out of 10 agents make is that they try to tap into what the market is not offering instead of what the market is offering. In other words, the biggest thing you can take away from this doc is that you cannot create market opportunity. You can only tap into it. So don't do this. Don't do what 9 out of 10 agents do. It's an illogical pathway. 9 out of 10 times in business, I'd say really, I hope almost 10 out of 10 times something doesn't make sense in business. It doesn't work. Yet 9 out of 10 agents follow this pathway. And we talk to a lot of agents. I'd say I probably see more than 20-something agents do this, say they want to do this every single day. They see that the market is low inventory, which they register as, it's a seller's market. And that is true. I'm not going to deny the fact that it's a seller's market. But because it's a seller's market, they target sellers in their lead generation. But we just talked about the fact that because it's a seller's market, it's all because there's low inventory. Low inventory means no sellers. So, because the market has no sellers to offer, they get little to no return. They try to create market opportunity rather than tap into it. They try to create seller opportunity. They try to create sellers in the market, but there are none. Instead, what top producers do, and what you need to do is you just need to follow the decision of what the top producers are doing, right? The top 10% of agents, the top 10 TPs, make 90% of the income in real estate. So trust me when I say this is sound advice. It's what they do. If you actually want to take this a step above and beyond, go on to any Google, Facebook, whatever be it. Go look at the advertising the top real estate agents in your area are running. If you don't know how to do that, you can go to Facebook and go to page transparency. Just Google it, right? You're going to see that top producers, they're not running seller campaigns, they're running buyer campaigns. And it's because of this, right? It's a logical pathway. It's the only way that right now you can make logical sense of how to win the market. They see that buyers are in abundance. That's the key. The buyers are in abundance, sellers are dry. So because buyers are in abundance, they target buyers in their lead generation. They win buyer opportunities at insanely low costs because 2/3 of agents are targeting sellers, right? We talked about how so many agents are just doing this. So because most agents aren't sellers, there's way less buyer competition. So they're getting leads at lesser cost. And then they're winning the actual CPA, cost per acquisition, at lesser cost, right? And because they're doing that, they can create massive hoppers, is what most of them refer to it as, of buyers. I call it the beehive, right? They just have tons of craziness in their pipeline, in their hopper, right? Like just bouncing with opportunity. Imagine it if you're in science at all, just like it's like a little gas molecule with just tons of atoms going back and forth, like it's just tons of energy in their pipeline, right? And because they have 10 times the buyers that most other agents have, they're able to do a lot of different things that make them scale, that make them win, right? Number one is they have the highest chance possible of having a buyer for every home that goes on the market. So if inventory is low, they have the highest chance possible at having a buyer for every house on the market. That's not all that matters, though. They have to be able to win the offer wars, right? Because each house is getting, it's going above listing, different types of offers, and based off of what kind of loan, and it's just crazy. But because they have the most amount of buyers, they also tend to win the offer wars because they have the most competitive offers, and they have the most competitive offers because with volume comes quality. If you have 50 active buyers, odds are you're going to have a few good ones in there, right? If you have 3 active buyers, who do you think is going to win? The agent that has 3 active buyers or the agent that has 50 active buyers? If there's a house being listed, right, who do you think is going to have the higher chance at having the more competitive offer? That's why they're doing so well. That's why TPs are doing this. It's because it's the only way to logically win this world. So anyway, right, they're winning the offer wars. They also can shorten their buy cycle time because they're winning more offer wars. So like where most agents right now are submitting 6 to 7 offers per buyer to win, TPs, top producers, they're doing about 2 to 3 to win. So they're half the cycle timeline, which creates better cash flow, which they can use to reinvest into the lead generation. So they're getting more opportunity at a much faster pace, and they're just scaling that, right? The cherries on top to this is because they're acquiring customers at fractions of the cost of agents that are trying to target sellers. That ROI translates into high profitability. Of course, higher profitability means that they can effectively scale more easily. On top of that, this is the best cherry. 20% of all buyers coming through the process double as sellers. So they're still even winning the listing game versus everyone that's actually trying to run seller ads. So in summary, man, to take all of this and put it together, classic rule of entrepreneurship, the money is never in following the masses. So if 90% of agents are thinking they need to target sellers, but the other 10% are making the majority of money in real estate, which pathway do you think is the right way to take? You don't have to take my word for this. Go to page transparency, look at the top producers in your space, in your area, in your farming areas. I promise you're going to see none of them are running seller campaigns, right? That's because you can't create opportunity. You can only tap into it. If you take away anything from us, right? And I would love, again, like if you're a good fit for what we do, then we're going to talk to you about partnership opportunity, et cetera. But if you take any value away from us, this is what you need to be doing to make sure that you're having effective conversions, effective returns in this post-COVID market. Thanks, guys, for your time. If you have any questions, we're always here for you. I'm excited to see you in the EN community, and I'll talk to you soon.